What's up everyone, Marco here back with another video, and today I'm talking about Google Ads retargeting and specifically retargeting for e-commerce. So regardless of the size of your brand, I want to give you the perfect tailored retargeting strategy for your situation, and this is what I will be talking about in today's video. I will talk about the audiences, how to retarget, overall tips to get the most revenue out of your retargeting ad spend. And without any further ado, let's get started right away. So in general, I would say there are sort of three strategies when it comes to retargeting, and they are based on your business size, okay? The first one, pretty straightforward, is simple retargeting. The next one is advanced retargeting, and the third one is ultra segmented retargeting. So here's what those three stages sort of mean, right? And what's important here. The basic retargeting one is for small stores. For the sake of this video, I would say 10,000 visitors per month or less. Then we have medium stores with less than 100,000 visitors, and we have large stores with more than 100,000 visitors. Of course, those are just rough ranges. It doesn't mean that they are exactly, that when you have 9,500 visitors that you are necessarily a small store. That should be obvious, but those are like the very, very, very rough ranges when it comes to traffic. This is very important because we want to segment your traffic properly for retargeting. And there is an interactions hierarchy that is very, very important to keep in mind when you want to do retargeting most effectively. At the very top, you have site visits. Every single person that comes to your site is a site visit, right? Then the next step in the hierarchy is a product view. And here again, depending on your brand and how you run ads, etc., 40 to 95% of your people are people visiting your site are typically product viewers getting to your product page. You then have add to carts, which is usually 5 to 15% of people, could be more, could be less. You have checkouts, 1 to 8%, and then you have purchases. High ticket can sometimes be 0.3, 0.4%, all the way up to like 4%. Of course, there are again outliers on both sides. I've taken these stats from our clients here at Cartlift, roughly some sort of average. We also have cases with a conversion rate of like 8%, 9% when it's a very, very optimized store, relatively low ticket, and so on and so forth. Now, this interactions hierarchy is extremely important when you want to do proper retargeting, and here's why. So when we look at these different items, right? Purchase being, your final step, your final goal, after which in the classical sense of retargeting, you don't want to work with that person anymore. You have basically every step becoming more valuable than the previous one, right? Because people are now closer to the final step, the purchase. When you have a small store, so the first retargeting sort of strategy, you want to basically put everyone in a large bucket, one large audience. That's what you can see right here. Site visits, product views, add to carts, checkouts, everyone who didn't purchase, you should basically treat as one large audience if you don't have that much traffic, right? If you have a small brand, you get like 5,000 visitors a month or something like that, decent start, you're making sales, you're making revenue, everything is great, but there is no point in over-segmenting your retargeting strategies, right? I see this all the time. Brands, they get 8,000 visitors, they get a bunch of conversions per month, and then they have like, I don't know, random example, like 200 checkouts and 100 add to carts or whatever. Probably those numbers don't really make sense right now, but you get the idea. If you don't have that many visitors, there is no point in over-segmenting who you have. Yes, your ads will be a little bit more effective that way, besides the fact that you need certain minimum audience sizes, like 1,000 people in Google Ads to actually retarget to those people. Nonetheless, with, all other things being equal, it's not the best use of your time to get overly sort of creative with retargeting with that few people, right? Use one large audiences, make it dynamic, retarget to all these people at the same time, regardless of which stage they had in the funnel, okay? Then you have medium stores. And here you want to segment, remember 10,000 to 100,000 visitors very, very roughly. You want to segment between the broad audience of people who have just, visited your site and viewed a product, and those that are highly relevant or that already signaled a lot of buying intent by either adding something to cart or reaching the checkout. So you have the broad audience, everyone to your site basically, except for people that purchased, checked out, or added to cart, and the highly relevant audience, add to carts and checkouts. Now, what's the idea here? Well, The idea is that you want to treat those differently, right? Instead of putting everyone in one basket like in the previous example, here you want to basically give credit to the fact that those that added something to cart or checked out are a lot more valuable. They are a lot closer to the final action, the purchase. So that means, first of all, you want to, for example, bid higher on those people, right? You want to message them differently. For example, with a discount code for recovery. You want to tell them, hey, forgot something in your basket, or you want to show them specific testimonials rather than just showing them the product again, right? Whereas here in the broad audience, it's just about reinforcing the message, showing them the products again, showing them the collection they've looked at, and so on and so forth. Here, you basically know that they're interested, and you want to, as I said, discounts, testimonials, depending on what you sell. Yes, also showing them the products and bidding more aggressively, meaning either you have a very high manual CPC, or you have max conversions without a target, or you have a very, very generous target, much lower than what you're normally aiming for, and so on and so forth. And then you have the large stores. And here, more than 100,000 visitors per month, you can do pretty much everything. We have cases where we go extremely crazy with like the segmentation and everything. In the sense of this video here, what you can see is I have defined a very broad audience, just site visitors that didn't actually view a product. Then you have an audience tailored to products, so people that viewed your product. And in a second, I will show you what it looks like actually creating these audiences and how you can do that in Google Analytics. Then, for the add to carts, you want to have like a discount audience, right? You want to show them, hey, give them like the final push to basically check out. Then for the checkout people, you give like the final reminder. Maybe there was a reason that they stopped the checkout. Maybe they were on the go. Maybe they were on the phone, couldn't finish it, whatever it might be. So this is more like a reminder sort of thing. And even with people that purchased, you may want to reactivate them, right? With a brand that is large enough, if you make like, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of dollars per month or more, millions of dollars per month, like some of our clients do, you may also want to reactivate people, right? You cannot reach everyone just with like email marketing or whatever. And if your ad spend is high enough and you have enough people, you may want to tell them, here you bought product A, maybe you're also interested in product B, or hey, as a loyal customer, you might want to try product B as well. Of course, you can tailor this message in the best possible way if you don't have too many products. So let's say you are a, lifestyle brand selling 5 or 10 different products, or a fitness brand, or a health brand. If you are just like a jewelry brand with 10,000 products, of course, you cannot do that much manual fine-tuning, and then it's more about categorization and targeting in categories and so on and so forth. But that's basically going from site visit to purchase and treating every single category of people differently. Of course, this can be adapted to your needs, right? If you have super high ticket products, or you just have a single product without any upsells or cross-sells, then you can eliminate the purchase reactivation category entirely. Doesn't make sense to sell the same product to the same person again, but you get the idea. It is normally justified to do it in a way that is as granular as this, just because you can afford it and have the traffic so that it actually makes sense. Okay. Now, if you want a more in-depth review of that and more action items, by the way, feel free to check the link in the description, which is my 30-day quick wins blueprint. It's entirely free, and you can use it to get more ideas for how to segment, what to do when you're stuck, general action items to improve the performance of your Google Ads account, and so on and so forth. And now I want to show you how it looks like to actually create those audiences in the back end of Google Analytics so that you can make them a lot more sophisticated than what you can normally do within Google. And here's how that looks like. So if you are in the audience manager of your Google Ads account, you can basically add a new data segment. And here you can choose between all these different options: website visitors, YouTube users, etc., customer list. And there you have Google Analytics, which you can then use to link the two accounts if you haven't done so already. And you can move on with the actual audience import process. Or you can also define audiences from there without having to, leave Google Ads in that sense. With that being said, here are a few more retargeting tips. First of all, make sure to use dynamic retargeting whenever possible, meaning that you show people the products they have actually viewed rather than just doing the same for everyone, right? Retargeting on Google tends to be less effective than on Facebook. So Facebook ads retargeting, a bit more effective. There's more context. You can get a bit more creative with your messaging and everything. Nonetheless, you have to try it. Experiment with display versus demand gen retargeting, because there are use cases for both. Demand gen tends to be a bit more expensive because the inventory is more expensive it's higher quality, whereas display for retargeting purposes can be fine, right? Demand gen is normally a bit better for cold traffic because, yeah, the inventory is slightly of higher quality, it's not as spammy and so on and so forth. For larger brands, I also recommend that you try YouTube retargeting, because there you can, of course, explore an entirely new channel. You can communicate testimonials and so on very, very well. Also, you want to give people discount codes or other reasons to come back to the site if possible, if this doesn't devalue your brand, if that is aligned with your brand message and your brand sort of image and so on and so forth. But it can be super, super effective to do so, right? Like, here's your personalized discount code, and then you give them, there are like display or promotion extensions in Google Ads that you can use for that purpose. Plus, you can mention them in the ad copy. You can try setting like a minimum site duration, as I said, 3 seconds minimum, which means that now you are sort of getting rid of those that leave literally immediately, or you can target people that visited as at least more than one site or one page, so 1.1 pages, for example, meaning that on average they have visited, or that this particular person visited more than one page. So let's say your collection page and your product page, rather than just the first page that they landed on, which indicates, of course, that they tend to be more relevant too. And also you want to make your retargeting window reasonable. So 7 days, 14 days, 30 days. I see a lot of brands that just go with like 360 or 180 days. Basically wanting everyone in there, but especially if you have large audiences, at some point this will get very expensive. And if someone visited your site like 80 days ago, didn't purchase, it's pretty unlikely that they will eventually become a customer, at least as long as you're not selling like an ultra high ticket item where it's like people need crazy amounts of time to decide whether they want to buy something or not. Even with our highest ticket clients, we have sold products for literally tens of thousands of dollars, like, workstation computers, ultra expensive gaming computers, high ticket luxury furniture. Even in those cases, we typically do not go for much more than 30 days or 60 days, let's say, at absolute maximum. Now, if this is helpful, then let me know in the comments how you have been using retargeting so far, if you are doing retargeting in the first place. And if you want more help with that, retargeting, Google Ads in general, just maximizing the performance of your account, especially if you hit one of these invisible ceilings, then I highly recommend that you check the link in the description to join more than 150 brands that we have worked with over the past years, spending more than $35 million on Google. And if you basically want to scale to the next level, you don't know how to scale further, it seems that you cannot spend more money on Google, or if you do so, the ROAS is actually falling apart, then check the link in the description for cartlift.co, where me and my very small boutique team will take a look at your account, see what can be done, super honest, super transparent. We have been scaling, to $250,000 per month in ad spend on just Google. We had very, very large accounts that we handled in order to, that actually thought that their ads were not scalable anymore. And we take care of the entire thing, from retargeting, tracking the technical aspect, feed management, feed optimization, so that you can really focus on your account. If that sounds great, then make sure to check the link in the description. And with that being said, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like if you did. Please subscribe for more Google Ads and performance marketing content for e-commerce. And with that being said, I really look forward to see you in the next video again. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.